Grace, action.
Okay. Nkwa. I no do wedding. My mother-in-law carry me come Lagos. Come give her to her son. My son marry me. I was in school.
So I met with Grace for the very first time sometime last year. I met her at the side of the road where she sells groundnuts. I think the first thing that struck me about her was the fact that she really looked sick, sickly, malnourished. And I saw the two children beside her looking the same way. So I stopped and we got talking. And that was when I realized that she had been married for 8 years already. So I asked her how old she was when she got married, and she told me she got married at 15.
Growing up in the North, I've realized that child marriage is one thing that they've normalized and made it seem like normal to some people and some cultures and religion in Nigeria, which is quite sad. I've seen my neighbors get married at the age of 15, 16, 17, and even younger than that in some cases. And it's quite sad that parents would allow their children go through such trauma and such pain of becoming an adult and doing things that adults are supposed to be doing, which is quite sad.
She was just 23 when I met her, but she honestly didn't look 30. She looked like almost 40 because of the kind of suffering and hardship she had to endure.
I know from my own experience that child marriage is not a good experience for any child to go through.
I am against child marriage because it affects the child psychologically, physically, and even socially. Children that engage in such act tend to be socially isolated. They tend to be neglected amongst friends. They are stripped away from their own role as being a child, which is inhumane.
Until the woman die, the man carry me on his house and continue suffering, selling groundnut with the two children. Now that groundnut I using feeling two of them. It's something I has to me. Said that he will carry a seed for me. If I run away, anywhere he see that children, he will carry them. Say he will kill me. Even though my mother and my sister, he will kill all of them. So now I'm suffering. I'm praying God, may God help me change my condition. So that two children, and that groundnut can't move. If I say 500 or 200, from there I go buy pampers, buy food, buy everything. Now I need help. May God help me, bring people to help me.
My name is Uche Pedro. I'm the founder of BellaNaija, and I'm here today because we have to take a stand to end child marriage today. What's going on? Girls are the most vulnerable group in our society. Almost every negative thing that happens, girls end up being at the really forefront of being at risk. Child marriage is one of those things in our society that really needs to stop today. While we're glad that UNICEF got in touch and wanted us to be part of this campaign to end child marriage, we're really sad that Nigeria is number 11 on the list of countries in terms of child marriage worldwide. We're sad that over 40% of Nigerian girls actually get married before they turn 18.
So we took her up at the foundation and we're trying right now to empower her with skills. The first thing on our plate right now is actually to relocate her because she's been thoroughly abused by her husband.
Now, life has tired me. Now that groundnut is sometimes I go buy water leaf, 15 naira, buy leaf, 15 naira. I go use crayfish, put them. Sometimes I no go put fish, I go cook. But the man there inside house go, go outside and eat. Carry plate and show me. Children. Even children, 1 year, like 6 months, that children there. You can't ask me why the daughter can't eat. I'll carry Gary, give that girl drinking Gary. But now that girl get eye problem. If you there like this, water gonna come out for you. I don't know whether not that Gary or it's hungry.
Child marriage in Africa is a huge epidemic that needs to be stopped. Children should be given the opportunity to live, dream, and pretty much dream up the life they want to have in future, and also see these dreams also become a reality before they decide to actually take the marriage vow.
I got into child marriage because my parents, they separated. In the process, I started to roam about. At a time, I met my husband. He took compassion on me and said, "You are a small girl. You should not be going through this type of situation." And that was how I got into child marriage. He offered to put a roof over my head, feed me, and clothe me. And as at then, that was all I needed for survival. So I went with him just like that. It was as easy as that. I didn't know that I was being abused then. I had my first child when I was about to clock 17, and it was torture.
Medically, it affects them in terms of the VDF, in terms of premature birth, in terms of developing other diseases such as STDs, and also hypertension through the aspect of constantly thinking about their life.
So we're trying to relocate her, after which we would empower her to be able to cater for herself and her 2 children.
So this needs to change. We're speaking out. Every level of society needs to be involved in this fight.
At BellaNaija Weddings, we celebrate weddings, we celebrate marriage, we celebrate forever love in all its beauty, but we do not celebrate child marriage.
If you see something like this happening in your community, speak out. Take a stand for that little girl over there that needs that help. Take a stand for that little girl who's not going to be able to achieve her dreams because suddenly at 15 or 16, she's a mom to children and her whole narrative changes.
The idea for this campaign came together when UNICEF contacted us to be a part of it, and we thought, yeah, of course, this is something that we'll definitely love to lend our voices to.
A lot of things that they shouldn't be experiencing at that very tender age. Child marriage should be something that our parents need to know. Child marriage is something that people need to know and stop putting children into positions where they shouldn't be doing what adults should be doing. Child marriage should stop.
Parents have a role to play, the culture has a role to play, the government has a role to play, the churches have a role to play, and the society as a whole. That's why I personally stand against child marriage.
We need to take a stand to end child marriage. End child marriage today.